Hey everybody, Steven here, and today I'm finally getting around to doing the review for the Knockoff Hypervolt or Phoenix that I got in from Papa Moon. So basically this came out of China, so it was kind of a risk when I bought it. I knew it was going to be a risk. I ended up actually getting the product that I ordered. A lot of times that doesn't happen. And basically this is that exact same product. And with the unboxing video, I talked about the fact that this is most likely either some of theirs that they had made over there, because I'm assuming that their product is actually made in China also, and it didn't pass kind of their inspection, their quality control inspection. Or they actually just bought out, some company took the molds, bought them out, and just basically made this off of their molds. Or because their patent laws are a little bit different over there, they could have just literally reverse engineered this. They bought one, they look at it, and they just make their own, right? Because I can't find this on their website anymore, my assumption is they probably just bought out a bunch of these that didn't meet their quality standards. I can tell that just because there's a couple spaces on here where I'm like, that probably wouldn't pass in my thought process behind it. Just a couple things where it's like, this has a little bit of a gap on it. Just little things like that. When I've seen out of the actual Hypervolts, which a lot of times you'll see these at like Massage Envy, where you can go in and you can pay 20, 30 bucks and somebody will just use the tool on you. And I've looked at those and they just seem a little bit more well put together, but it literally is this exact same thing. Also other signs, the other one that I bought when I did buy this, it didn't have the kind of rubber inserts here that covered up the screws. When I popped the battery off here also, when you look inside here, it's not a complete paint job, right? So with that, my assumption is that's most likely the case. Don't know that for sure, but regardless, that was the big thing here is this thing worth it? Now I paid $160 for two of these things, sold one of them to a client. I paid 80 bucks for this thing right here. The big draw for this was the fact that it is not as noisy as the jigsaw attachments that you'll see with some of the other things that do massage with, you usually see them in CrossFit gyms. And I've used one before, it's very jarring. So the attachments are usually 80 to 120 bucks for the jigsaw. So you have to go buy your own jigsaw, right? And then you put the attachment on there and all you hear is a voo, 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 and it's super loud. To the point where you couldn't hear me if I was talking right now. With this, that's not the case. That's level 1, this has 3 levels. 2, 3 starts to get a little bit louder, but I can still talk over it, right? So I wanted something for the gym. I have a Pure Wave at the house. I'll actually put an attachment or a link for that video so you can see that one. We use that at the house. I wanted something for my clients at the gym and this popped up, took a risk, and it actually paid off in my opinion. 4 different attachments that we have here. This is kind of my overall one that I use, flathead, more pinpointed one. Typically I'm using this on my hips and my calves, where this one I'll just use anywhere. This is for sensitive areas. It's a foam ball with this. Usually we're looking at the neck. I'll get into the occipitalis, like in the back of my skull here. And then this beauty right here is for along the spine. Typically I'm using this along my cervical spine. This comes with the case, the 4 different attachments, 4 replacements for the rubber kind of, it's not a grommet, but it's basically an attachment that goes in here that makes sure that this actually fits snug in here. So if that gets loose, you can replace it, which is nice. And then the power cable. We have a green bar down here. I've seen that this thing has lasted typically about 2+ hours of use time, right? Now that for me means with clients, this thing probably lasts about 2 weeks, right? Because they're not doing it for that whole time. Usually at about the 2-week mark, I need to plug this in, I charge it for an hour, and then I get another 2 weeks out of it, right? So I'm having clients use this anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, kind of whoever needs it throughout the day. So it's usually getting 1 to 4 uses that day, okay? So 3 different levels to it. Battery life is decent. The attachments work really, really well. I love the fact that it isn't crazy noisy. That was a huge draw here. But with it being kind of, like I said, the knockoff version, whatever you want to call it, I knew that there were going to be some things that would happen with this. I mentioned that the one that my client got didn't have the rubber inserts here for that. With mine, the only thing that I've actually been able to tell is that the battery is starting to slip out of this. It's not holding as tight I can tell because I can see the ring here between the rubber handle and where it goes there, and it actually just has some movement. So with that, what that means, that's getting louder now because of that. Now I can hold it, won't be as loud, right? But so far that's really been the only downside to this. I've been using this now for, I believe, going on 3 months, 2.5, 3 months. And I'm actually surprised. I really do enjoy this thing. And at 80 bucks, it was a good buy in my opinion, compared to when you buy an actual Hypervolt or Phoenix, which looks exactly like this. This is actually one of those. You're gonna spend anywhere from, the lowest I've seen is $250, but I've seen them as high as $400 and $500. Not gonna spend that on one of these for sure. So I do like this. Clients have enjoyed it. I don't use this on clients. It's one of those things where it doesn't, I don't care if it's a tool, whatever it is, the client has to do it themselves. I'm not a licensed massage therapist. I have seen these used, like I said, in Massage Envy in a massage therapy setting. I wouldn't pay somebody to use this on me, right? But I love being able to use it on myself. But the notion of paying somebody 20, 30 bucks for 30 minutes, I mean, they don't have this on the Papa Moon site, but there have been other sites that have these. You could basically forego 3 of those and just buy one of these yourself and then use it as much as you want. So I enjoy this. The sound was the biggest thing. I wanted something for the gym. I wanted to branch out, try something different. I've had the Hypervolts used on me and I've used them before, and I do love the build quality. This isn't as good as that. Like I said, most likely just the ones that didn't make it through kind of their quality control there, but it is close enough. And like I said, you can't beat 80 bucks. So I would give this a definite thumbs up, a go ahead. If you come across another site, so people have been asking and other people have chimed in with posting sites that do have this. It's one of those things, just look out on Facebook. I'll try and find some and link them if I can. Now, price range, you'll see maybe it's 90 bucks, maybe it's 100. And the highest I've seen is up to 120 for one of them. But you could buy 2, split it with a friend, you'll get a bigger discount typically when you do that on these sites. This came in 4 weeks, which was way quicker. I was worried it was gonna take usually the 9 to 12 weeks that it takes when something comes from China and it ships to the States here. And I'm in the middle of the country, I'm in Oklahoma, so that got here really, really quick. So overall, this has been awesome. Now I've only used it for 3 months. I'll probably do a follow-up. Let's see where this thing is at in a year, where I know that the Hypervolt's gonna last a good while. With these tools, you always wanna make sure that the tool is doing the work. I'm not actually driving this into my body. I'm just holding it here. And the tool itself is using the vibration that it does in order to get the soft tissue work. Versus I'm trying to drive this in. If you do that, you'll burn out the motor quicker. So that's a big thing. So as long as you're using it properly, this thing should last a good while. So it's been phenomenal on my legs and my traps. I use this about once a day, right? In some capacity. That may be for a couple minutes, that may be for 5 to 10 minutes. Or maybe in like 5-minute chunks a couple times throughout the day. Me, like I said, primarily hips and traps, and it's definitely worth it. So I'm gonna give this a thumbs up. I took a risk, it paid off. That may mean that you try to do the same thing and it doesn't, because the warranty insert on this, like there's no information on how you're gonna do a warranty claim or anything like that. There's no phone number, email address, none of that. So like I said, this is a risk. If you buy this, you get this as is. If it breaks, you're done. By the Hypervolt, you're probably gonna get a 1 or 2 year warranty, and you're gonna be able to contact somebody and do that. So that's the things that you're weighing against. And just don't have the $300 to $500 to pay for one of those. This happened to work out, and we'll see how long it lasts. So that is it. If you guys like the video, hit the like button for me. If you want to continue to follow along with all of my content, hit the subscribe button for me. If you have any questions too, just let me know in the comment section. If it's something I didn't cover with this, just let me know, and I will make sure that I either make another video or I answer that in the comment section. Thanks for watching.